About whatever you want. I'm Kat Rambo, your medicine woman, and today we're going to talk about a slightly controversial topic, the business of spirituality. I think this is a really important topic, especially since it has been growing so rapidly, and it's really meaningful to discuss what that means, what that looks like, and how we can get there or decide if that's even what we really want to do. So, full disclosure, in my previous life, I worked in business and finance, international business growth and development, corporate governance, and investment placements. So, my favorite passion began with um, moving out of the corporate space and into out of the governance environment and into helping entrepreneurs. I have a soft spot for entrepreneurialism, and my focus very quickly became the spiritual entrepreneur, those engaged in handcrafts, artisanal products, um, herbalism products like my own brand, and entrepreneurs of other spiritual types of work, including crystal shops, all the way to private coaches, song coaches, sound therapists, things like this. So, uh, I quickly learned that there are very specific and special hangups about this space specifically. It's not like any other type of business, and nor does it have to be. So let's dive in and talk about that. Um, so this is going to come from the perspective of someone who is a medicine worker, a light worker, a coach, but I also have a background in more structured therapy methods like NLP and hypnosis and transformation coaching. So I bring structure, organization, and the data of my career in finance into the process of healing and modernizing healing and making it sellable, effective, and support you back. So first, I want to talk about a couple of misconceptions, some hangups that I see, because I can always change the marketing, the branding, the packaging, the financial structure, the payment processor. And a lot of our AI is doing this for us now, which is great. Some of it's effective, some of it's not, some of it's trash, but some of it is just helping us get motivated and excited, which sometimes is the most important part. So I'm seeing a few things. One is a hang up about money, right? So I actually transitioned from pure business coaching into more personal life stuff because of this specific hang up. So it's a soft spot for me that I love to address because the truth is we need it, right? We need it to live, and it's not wrong. There is a lot of spiritual and religious pressure against money, and it comes from ideas like you can't fit a camel through the eye of a needle, right? Money is the root of all evil. But that's actually not what the book says. The book says the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not say be poor in order to be holy. It doesn't say that, right? So the process that we view of monks and other type of committed practitioners that live in poverty do so out of a commitment to a certain type of path for a certain reason. That doesn't mean all spiritual people should be broke, right? Um, I'm often asked, sometimes, how dare you charge money for spiritual services? Because in the past, shamans wouldn't charge anything. That's true, actually. In the past, they wouldn't, but the community would provide for them. So when you want to buy my TP and pay for my cell phone and the things that I need to practice, you cannot expect me to be a full-time practitioner and not get paid, because then I have to work in order to eat and pay for lights, right? We need things in the modern world, and until my community of clients pays for me to do that, provides for that, I also have to pay for those things too. So it is not unacceptable to expect a practitioner to be paid. Something is also changed about the modern world is we have access to practitioners in a whole new way, which means previously your community had your shaman. I like your sweater. Oh, thank you. Little bird. It's new. You like it? It's got little crosses on it. I like that. And a little llama. Meh. I like it too. It's fuzzy. We have a hood. You know I love that. Thank you. It's good to see you, sweetheart. So previously, you would go to your community shaman. This was your leader. This was your mental health professional. This was your medicine worker. I love the color. Yeah, me too. Meh. Meh. And sometimes this was your necessary evil. Sometimes these people lived on the fringe of society because this is also to whom you would sacrifice your firstborn son to bring on the rain to appease the gods. So this person may not always have been a well celebrated and well loved character either, but your community had one, and that was yours. Sometimes peoplehood makes it 10 times better. So does, agreed. Right? Gotta love good style. Um, Sometimes people would travel to other communities. For example, the Rurarica people, or what we call now Huichol in Mexico, where the peyote culture, people from around the region would come and visit them specifically for their medicine. So sometimes we would travel, in ancient times to a different community leader that we would have access to. But now we have access to any type of healer practitioner practice that we want, right? And this encourages practitioners to become better at their craft because there is some benefit to this competition. If I suck, my community doesn't come to me, right? And I am not the only one that serves my community. They can go to someone else, which means I need to up my game, right? Which is a really good thing because now we have access to better practitioners with a broader range of capacities and skills. And this is really effective for benefiting the people, right? But that also means that now excellence demands a premium. So because my community doesn't have one shaman, there are many shamans you can choose from. Now, the community is who wants that shaman, not who is locally around that shaman. So the tribe doesn't provide for a shaman. The tribe now means who wants that shaman's work, which means, yes, you have to pay for the service, right? Just like you would pay for anyone. You want to pay for a doctor, you got to pay for a witch doctor too. Okay. So it is worth it to value your service as a practitioner. And it's unfortunate that we have this association that money somehow makes you a bad person. But a lot of times, and I do a lot of this one-on-one coaching because there's a lot of great tools that we can use to deep dive into what the subconscious blocks really are. But the truth is, a lot of us have hangups about it. Our society also encourages, modern Western culture encourages poverty. It says that rich people are evil, they avoid taxes and they cause problems and they take advantage, right? So you shouldn't make money because that would make you this kind of person. But does it? Money's just an amplifier. It's just energy. It's neutral like anything else. Some great wow. Great philanthropy cannot happen. It is late here. We are currently after 9:30 o'clock in southern Patagonia, Chile. Cannot do their great works without having the resources to give. So money also makes you a bigger giver. It makes you have a better capacity to support others. So there's a lot of great benefit to money. Without diving too deeply into that, I really want to transition to another hang up that I see, which is about how to grow your passion, right? So this is something that I love to share because a lot of people feel like, well, if I can't figure out how to do the business too, then I can't thrive and make this a business. But the truth is, you don't have to. There's a reason that is an entire distinct education and environment and field and professions because it is its own skill set. So yes, you can do it yourself with ChatGPT and that will get you as far as it will get you. But if you find that that's not working for you, it may not be your product that's the problem. It may be that you simply don't have good marketing advice or good promotion infrastructure or good packaging, and you just don't know that because that's not your zone of expertise, and neither does it need to be. You don't need another 6-year education in order to do what you love to do, and in fact, it would distract you from your excellence. So this is where someone like me steps in, where you can say, Kat, I have this idea, but I don't know how to bring it to market. I don't know how to serve bigger. And so my job is to help you do that, right? Sometimes, and my favorite type of consulting call is, I have this idea and I have this love, but I don't know how to make it a product. Right? Okay, great. Let's pick apart your skill set from the perspective of 1, what do you love? 2, what do others love? 3, how does it serve? And 4, how do we make it show that it serves so that someone who's really looking for the unique gift that you can give can find you and benefit from the magic that you offer to the world that is special and unique to you. So my favorite is, and I'm not going to dive way too deeply into this because it is obviously a whole product program its own self. It would take much more time than the time that we have to share. But the idea is here that I want you to know that if you don't know what to do with what it is that you want to give, that doesn't mean you're at a dead end. It just means you need to call someone who knows how to have that vision, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And sometimes that may mean someone saying to you, this is not a viable product offering. You may either need to adjust your offering or decide that maybe this is not really for you. Maybe something else would do better, right? Maybe something else would help you feel more authentic and you're sharing your gift with the world. And how to make it make money for you. Your gift should support you back. That inspiration is not there to help you starve and struggle. It is there to inspire the world around you, move through you, and support you back on the way out. So, this is an important part of spiritual practice. Something else that I'm seeing along the way is sometimes a premature entry into practice. And I know that I discuss professionalism a lot on certain types of podcasts and platforms, but I am going to touch on it here. A lot of times, let's get really specific, especially with sacred medicines offerings. Someone gets the message, the download from the medicine that says, you're a healer, you're a shaman. That does not mean immediately go into service. It means heal yourself, right? This is a big part of integration coaching that I do. It means heal yourself. And then once you really feel like it's time to commit yourself to the dedicated training and life way required to be in this life path of service, then talk about how to expand in your offering. And the idea that just build it and they will come, sure, that doesn't work anymore, right? That never really did work, right? It didn't work in ancient Rome, it doesn't really work now. It's a nice idea, but how does your service differ from everybody else's? And yes, you will attract energetic alignments, which means you will attract the people who are looking for help from your energy. But that doesn't mean that you're going to continue to flourish, right? And usually hit a cap. You get that inspiration that comes in, you get those clients that find you, and it feels really good. And then all of a sudden you hit that plateau and things start to decline because you got the message, but you didn't act on it. You didn't choose to expand in a way that's active. We talk about the medicine wheel always in my practice, right? Anyone who's worked with me, Miss Little Bird, you've seen it. The medicine wheel is separated into 4 quadrants: mind, body, emotion, and spirit. So the body section is also material world. It's not just your physical body, it's the physical life. And that includes money, that includes your behavior, it includes actions that you take. And God may open many doors, but only you can walk through them, and you must take steps to walk, right? Things will not just occur for you. And if you have mastered the art of sitting still and letting everything come to you, then call me. I would love to learn from you. But for the rest of us in the mundane world, as us silly mortals, we must take action in order to create in life, right? So the reason we have bodies is not to sit and pretend we're above them. It is to move them and enjoy the act of creation through them. And it's a powerful and beautiful gift that we have to get to share through love. So if you're in that space where you feel like you're ready to create, I think that's a really powerful thing. And I love, love, love that energy and would love to share that with you. And my job is I am an amplifier, which means I come and I see what you're working on and I scrutinize all of it. I pick it all apart and I put it all back together and create something that you can share in a way that's authentic for you. The last hang up I would really like to share that I feel like is really important, especially since you're here, little bird, is education, right? So a lot of times we feel super intuitive about our craft, and this is so powerful. This is also really important, and also it is not enough, right? I have so many people that come into my practice having gone through other herbalists, other medicine practitioners, other integration counselors, and they are still buggered up or worse than where they started because their practitioner was highly intuitive but uneducated and didn't understand that intuition is only part of the puzzle. It is not the complete story. Whole medicine wheel is balance, right? So the spirit side, the integration side, the emotion side, the sharing, right? The feeling into it, the mental side is also important. The body side is also important, and that is education and organization, right? So in order to be complete and balanced and for anything to really flourish, it needs all of those pieces. We all need all of those pieces, right? That's what integration coaching is all about, is how do we create a whole out of all of our parts? Then we have something that stands on all 4 feet and can create in the world with stability and consistency and reliability and safety, right? Safety is important, especially in the spiritual practices. Sometimes we um, mistakenly overlook how easy it can be to hurt somebody, right? And so that's really important to make sure that we don't practice with fear, but we practice backed up with education and awareness and a solid knowledge of what we're doing. And so when we start gaining experience, we don't have to be in fear because we know what we're doing and we know what not to do, but also how to really be of best service and express our natural talents and intuition through the lens of organized education as well, right? Now, there are a lot of ways to get educated, and my dog can certify you in NLP if you want. But it's important to find quality education. Quality counts, right? So this is one of the reasons that I feel like it's so important to be with someone who can counsel you on this, because when you're looking at a business, and you're looking at something that's supposed to support you back, there are many legs here that we need to get stepping in the same direction, right? Otherwise, you're just kind of all over the place. And it is not your job to then also become a business professional. This is another job, right? This is a whole other job. It's your job to get really good at what you do, to be inspired and to move through what it is that inspires you and to share that gift with the world. And then to bring on somebody else to handle all the nuts and bolts and cross the T's and dot the I's and all the other stuff that has to happen to make it function, right, in the material world. And this is another skill set, right? It comes with marketing, it comes with language, it comes with mathematics, it comes with data, it comes with algorithms, it comes with all kinds of stuff, right? And that's not your job, you know? And ChatGPT helps, but it's only going to get so far, right? We all hear about, these kids making zillions off of ChatGPT, but these are rare cases, and that's why we read about them, because they're exceptional. And if you feel like you're at that point where either I don't know how to go from this like idea or this like compulsion to product, maybe you don't even know what you really want to do. That's actually not abnormal, and it's a great place to start. I really want to work for myself, and I really feel inspired to serve, but I don't know what it is that I do, that I offer. I don't know how to be specific. I don't even know what I should study. Great, call me. That's perfect. I love that. That type of guidance is like deep soul work. I love that so much. Maybe you already have a product and you've kind of hit this plateau and you don't know what's like how to grow from there. Great, call me. I love it. Right? I love that. Maybe everything's working great and you're growing really fast and you don't know how to get organized, because if you are not organized when you grow, you will be super disorganized in a really expanded way. And it's really important to get organized and professional. Maybe you really are good at what you do and you know exactly what you're doing, but you realize you need to uplevel your professionalism. This is also important, and it inspires faith and trust in your clients, and it also keeps you accountable for staying, honed in your craft, and for staying really good for your people, and for showing up in the fullest way possible. This is also important, right? Professionalism is a thing that's really lacking in the healer space. And when we can show up truly professional, it really helps. And I will tell you that I have had so many clients choose to work with me because they've said, wow, you are very professional. It makes me feel like you know what you're doing and you've been doing it for a while. And the truth is, I do, and I have. But also, I know how to make it look good. And that matters. That matters. There's a reason the ads for medication have a guy in a white lab coat, even if he's not a doctor, is because it looks right. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we hire bad healers because they look the part. But if you're a good healer and it doesn't look like it, then who's going to believe you, and who gets to benefit from the gift that you have to share? It's worth it to make sure that your packaging is right, so that your product is good, so that it makes the biggest splash and benefit in the world around you, because only then can you truly express that authentic gift that you want to share with the world. And that matters. It does. And it shouldn't, but don't we judge our books by our covers? Don't we have, with this onslaught of media that we experience, and products and companies and businesses and services, like incessantly spinning at us, we do gain a sense of what feels legit and what feels kind of scammy, right? You don't want to look scammy just because you don't know what you're doing with the business side. That's not your job. It's your job to do your job. And it is wise to hire on someone who can help you make your product look right, so that it feels good to those who are judging your cover, right? And judging the way it looks, so that you can make the biggest service in the world, which is the best part. And so it can serve you back, because it should, because only then can you support yourself in the world doing what you love to do. And it would be very tragic if the world were deprived of your unique gift, and your life was deprived of the fulfillment of self ownership and sovereignty, and the gift that you have to give, just because you didn't know how to make it look cute, or you didn't know how to organize it, or you didn't know how to explain it in a way that made sense to people and made them understand why it was valuable, right? Because of course you know what you do. Maybe you don't know exactly what you do. Whether you're there, or you do know what you do, or you've already been doing what you do and you know how to describe it and you're ready to take it to the next level, all of these different stages and phases have a place to expand, right? And they have fertile soil to plant a seed and water it so it can grow. And that part I love. And I have space for 3, and only 3, new clients in this category, because all this time I have been also moonlighting in this work, because um, I am grateful that I no longer function in the corporate environment. I'm grateful that I no longer work in finance and tax compliance. I'm grateful that I no longer have to mess with any of that and doing the entrepreneurial startups and the big stuff and the little stuff and like the numbers and all of that. And I love that that's not my main work anymore. However, it is still a passion, and I do receive constant inspirations, and it has become a very beautiful gift to me because I love integration so much. And whoever follows my work will know that integration is my thing, right? Um, Being able to integrate what I have learned about living a spiritual life way with the work of business and how to bring those two together in a way that feels good and aligned and right and inspired and ignited and activated, and also do it in a way that is professional, organized, forward moving, and income generating. And there is absolutely a way to do it. And I have really enjoyed experimenting with that over the last 15 years or so. And it is a quiet gift that I have enjoyed for a long time. And now I think I'm ready to expand in that a little bit more. So I am opening up 3 spots for that if that's something that feels interesting to you. I am more than willing to see what you're working with and see if it's in alignment with what it is that I do and how I do my work. So, um, previous clients are everything from beverage companies that are unnamed to professional reasons to um, single private sound healers to medicine workers to therapists to retreat hosts. I love doing retreat stuff. That's super fun because I love experiential learning. And it always comes in like a beautiful inspiration, and it's always spirit guided and professional and organized and correct, right? You know, make sure it works right. So if this is something that you feel like is calling to you and maybe you just don't know where to start, you know, that would be a single session. But if you feel like you already know what you're doing and you're ready for the full service, like how to get from concept to product offering, then that would be a series of 3 sessions, right? And that would look like purpose, people, and product, right? That would be our marketing. So very organized. And for some of my businesses, that looks like a full restructure, which is a little bit different. But it's never very complicated. It never takes very long. It doesn't have to, right? When it's soul guided and spirit informed, and then we add in that technical, data driven, analytical method that gets it from here to there. It's about building that bridge from love to inspired life, right? Which I think is just phenomenal. And I see a lot of us, especially since our pandemic, that have been moving from an unwillingness to live a life of unfulfillment, working for someone else's dream, towards doing what they want to do with themselves and taking their inspiration and their passion and their experience in life to support them back. And I've actually had entrepreneurs call me and say, I'm working for the man and I want to change that, but I don't even know what to do or how to start. And we find their tremendous gift locked inside what seems obvious and dumb to them, but is so powerful. All we have to do is put it in the right frame and express it properly and show them how to share what it is that seems obvious to them, right? You ever tried to teach someone to drive a car? It's way harder. Wait a minute, you kind of just gotta, okay, so the pedal on the right is, wait, you got to strap in first. Okay, 10 and 2. Wait, look first. Oh, you got to put your lights on. But when you get in, it's just, you just get going and you don't even think about it, right? So there's something in your life, there's something in your heart that you just get in and you go and you don't think about it, but is worth teaching someone else how to do, right? And it may just look like an experience you've had that you've suddenly become an expert in because it's your life story, right? Maybe it's something that you've trained in and you've educated yourself and you know how to do, but you've always maybe done it for someone else. Or maybe now you're just ready to take it to another level. And I love all of this. So let me know if that sounds like you and you're ready. I'm ready for you. I hope this was interesting and informative for you. I don't see any questions, but I do go back and read the questions and respond to them always. So I am awaiting your curiosity. Let me know below, is there an idea, whether it's spiritually motivated or not? If you're on this channel, it's likely it is, but maybe it's not, and that's okay too. There is a wonderful way of infusing spirit into inspiration that comes that may look mundane, but if it's a soul calling for you, then that's what it is, and not every spiritual art looks spiritual on the outside. I remember very early in my practice, maybe more than a decade ago now, and a woman had come out of an ayahuasca ceremony. It was one of my first clients that wasn't even a client at that point. It was just referred to me because that was my calling and I didn't know it yet, right? And from someone else's ceremony, which I didn't even know how that happened. It just occurred, right? That's how it happens sometimes. And when the calling is there, it's there. And she said, I'm really conflicted because I was told that I was a healer and I feel I need to live a spiritual life, but I really, love my work in commercial real estate. I love the money. I love the life. I love the work. I love it. I got into it because I love it. Now I don't know what to do. I'm having a whole vocational crisis and like life crisis. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are you thinking that means you have to give up your career? She goes, well, I don't know how to like live, a spiritual connected to earth life, feeling like I need to work as a healer if I'm receiving this message, but I love commercial real estate. I love development. I love these big projects. And I'm like, but why not? God knows more than most that commercial real estate, a sphere I used to engage with, could use a little bit of spirit more than most, right? So to be a healer doesn't mean to learn and practice energy work. It means and serve plant tea. It means be a person who is healed in the world and introduce that vibrational frequency everywhere you go. So I said, be a whole healed person, work on yourself, communicate with honesty and dignity, be authentic, and do what you love. And that means commercial real estate, then do it. So she said, oh, I didn't think of it that way. I said, just live your life as a spiritual being and a healed and healing being. And everything you do will become that, right? And she said, okay, interesting. And then I didn't hear from her for a while. I honestly kind of forgot. So much happened so fast in my life at that time. And she finally sent me a message back. I had been thinking of course, then she sent me a message, I think, because I was thinking about her. And she said, I just have to tell you what happened. I said, tell me. She says, I took your advice. I'm like, oh, what advice was that? And she said, well, I decided to live my life as a spiritual being and continue to follow my passion, because if inspiration is a message from the divine, then that also has to be spiritual, right? And if I love it, then that's it. That's what I do. And I said, good for you, honey. How'd it go? She says, I just opened, again for privacy, I just opened my state's largest troubled youth center. We just broke ground, and it is a collaborative project designed to make the world a better place. And I'm so excited to be part of something like this. It brought me to tears. My hair goes up even now just thinking about it and just sharing with you about it, because it's just so powerful. And imagine if she had quit her work to go be an energy worker or study Reiki or something. Nothing against Reiki, obviously. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I love it too, among other things. But imagine if she had done that, and all of these people and all of these troubled children and all of this crime and drugs and gang violence, that doesn't have to happen anymore, because Eduardo, hola, ¿qué tal? That doesn't have to happen because she followed her bliss in a way that didn't look like what she thought the message was saying, but was in perfect alignment with her own inspiration and her unique way of being in the world. And she has created an impact that is so big and so profound, doing it her way. And so think about how you can maybe balance all of your quadrants. Maybe it just because you want to work in a spiritual environment, maybe that means being a spiritual person the way that you are. Um, Another client slash friend of mine ended up back in banking unexpectedly, because she needed the money, right? And it came up, so she went for it after being in sound healing for a while and being a phenomenal voice coach and an awesome person, very spiritually motivated woman. I mean, it's the kind where you just look at her and her flowy scarves and you just know, right? And a super cool chick to be around, and a lovely, lovely woman. And she ended up back in banking. And she said, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. And I'm like, okay, but be a spiritual person and do the work where the world needs it the most, in banking. Right? And so she brought her crystals and she wore her flowy scarves with her, spirit symbols all over. And she brought some type of like a meditation practice. I can't recall now, or sound healing or something into the office environment, and completely changed the way her office environment functioned and created around her a spiritual environment in a place where it hadn't been before, an environment based on communication, authenticity, kindness, joy, love, tranquility, benefit of the client, service, right? Where it hadn't really been there before, doing like loan underwriting or something, in a corporate banking branch, right? And the place where we would least expect to find what is truly now a healer. Because if you can bring that energy and make that type of subtle, not so subtle change in an environment like that, that is the art of healing. That is the art of being as a healer, not as going and working in healing arts. And so she learned a really deep way and went through a very deep initiation in beingness, not just in the act of service of a certain art, making her a healer, but in the beingness of being a healer. It is very difficult to be, or it's very easy to be in peace in solitude on the top of a mountain. It is much harder to be the scion of peace walking through a busy urban city chaos scape. Right? So it's your spiritual business may be what looks like a mundane business, but done in a way that is spiritually guided, motivated, and operated, which is so fun. I love that so much because I feel like that's really what we're moving into. It's not that we're all going to turn into healers, herbalists and Reiki healers. It's that, and medicine workers. It's that we're going to become the next evolution of humanity, which looks like being informed by this aspect of ourself as well as we move through a regular world, alive in the modern context, living in urban environments with bills and taxes and phones and YouTube. And, here we are together enjoying the trappings of a modern society. And we can do it better. We can do it our way, and we can do it in a way that changes everything for everyone around us. And that is the true art of healing. That is a true spiritual business. So maybe it looks like your desire to run a spiritual business looks like following what appears to be a totally mundane industry or product, but doing it in a way that feels inspired and guided for you. When's the last time you sat at your altar, you sat in meditation to ask how to structure your offering in a way that serves best? Or did you just look at the marketing research? There's a way to be in balance and look at all four quadrants of the medicine wheel in order to make the best and biggest decision. And by the way, when we make a decision in alignment, that's called a prayer, right? It's called a prayer. So that powerful energetic alignment brings only prosperity, because remember, nature, God, it is ultimately abundant. And because you are an extension of that, not part of it, not it's part of you, it's you are that which is all. Then you are by very nature abundant and a creative force of magnificent untapped proportions. And I would love to help you understand what that really means and how to really expand in that and how to really enjoy every moment of being in that creative energy in this life, in this time, in this world, no matter what chaos may look like on the outside. Because when you walk steady to your drumbeat, then the rest of the world will dance in line with you. I hope this finds you very well. I hope you have a beautiful night. I'm going to go share onsa with my current Chilean family. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. And I hope this message brings you inspiration for freedom, like Bird 1 and Bird 2 over here, sharing a conversation of prosperity, I hope, singing their song of authenticity and sharing in the world from a level that I think we're just really understanding what that can mean and how that can be expressed in a way that doesn't have to be black and white. Either you're a healer or you're a mundane left behind, or it's not like that. It's so much bigger. It's so much more nuanced, and it's so much more whole and rich than all of that. And I would love, love, love to be part of that story for you. I hope you enjoy a beautiful night, day, morning, wherever you are. Buenas noches, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, if you want to reach me, contact information below. Like, follow if you like this content. Do me solid, because I'm here because I already know what I know, but I'm here for you. So if there's something interesting for you, give me a like, follow. It helps me know what it is that you're into. And if you want to share what it is that you would like me to talk about next, then leave me a comment and let me know. Usually the vote occurs in the Facebook group, but if you're not involved there, just leave me a comment and let me know. And these topics are decided by you. So I'll see you next time. Bye.